Hello everyone, hope you are doing great. I Vivek Sharma welcome you all on my YouTube channel Engineering Maths by Vivek. So friends, if you are studying higher mathematics or engineering mathematics, definitely you come across Laplace transformation. In this video lecture, we are going to discuss the basic of Laplace transformation, how it was originated and what is the definition of Laplace transformation. We are going to discuss each and everything in this video lecture, and later on we are utilizing the definition to get some results which can be further utilized as a formula to solve the questions. So friends, let's start today's video, Laplace transformation. So first of all, a question arises, what is Laplace transformation and what is the utility of Laplace transformation? So simply we can say in very simple words, Laplace transformation is a handy tool which is used to solve different differential equation or difficult differential equation, because we know that it is not easy to solve differential equation because we have to find the general solution of the differential equation. Then after finding the general solution, we have to find the arbitrary constants also, so it requires a lot of labor. So Laplace transformation cuts short the procedure and gives us easiness to find the solution of differential equation. So what is the definition of Laplace transformation? So according to the definition, if ft is defined for all positive values of t, then its Laplace is given as 0 to infinity e power minus st ft dt. So by the definition, if there exists a function ft which is defined for all the positive values of t, means all the positive values of t, then by the definition we are using L for Laplace. Then the Laplace of function ft is 0 to infinity e power minus st ft dt. And what is the s here? So s is a parameter. Which can be real or complex. And secondly, integration should be convergent. Integration should be convergent and should exist. So what is the condition to get the Laplace transformation? So there is a condition that S may be real or you can say complex, and second thing is important, that this integration should exist, or this integration should give the convergent result. Means we are interested in that result which is giving us a very unique value or near to unique value. So these are the two important outcomes of the Laplace transformation. If you want to note it down, you can note it down or take the screenshot. So let's move further. So what is the condition for existence? So what is the condition for existence? First condition is that ft is continuous. And second, limit t tends to infinity 0 to infinity e power minus st ft dt should exist. So these are the conditions which are necessary to get the idea that whether Laplace exists or not. So you can note it down or you can take the screenshot of these two conditions also. But we can say that these conditions are only sufficient condition, not necessary condition. Means the condition which are written here, these are sufficient condition, not necessary condition. And one more thing you should remember, that the Laplace of 1 upon under root 2, the Laplace of 1 upon under root t does not exist. you must note it down that Laplace of 1 upon under root t does not exist. What is the reason behind it? We'll check in the later section of the video. So I hope as of now it is clear that what is the definition of Laplace transformation and what is the sufficient condition for the Laplace transformation. So let's move further. Now using the definition, we are going to derive some results which can be further utilized as a formula. So first of all, what is the Laplace of 1? Okay, so what is the Laplace of 1? So by the definition I told you 0 to infinity e power minus st, ft is 1 dt. Hope it is clear. So if we are finding the integration of it will be like e power minus st upon minus s, 0 to infinity, and minus 1 upon s can be taken as common, e power st from 0 to infinity. So 1 upon s, it will be 1 upon infinity minus 1 upon 0, 1 upon 1, because e power 0 will give 1, so it will be, here is a negative sign, minus 1 upon s, 0 minus 1, we can say 1 upon s. So we got that Laplace of 1, we got that Laplace of 1 is actually 1 upon s. So hope it is clear that we have find the Laplace of 1. If similarly Laplace of 2 will be 2 upon s, Laplace of 3 will be 3 upon s, or we can say the Laplace of any constant number is constant number divided by the parameter s. Okay, so let's move the Laplace of a second function. So let's find another function e power at. So Laplace of e power at, exponential function e power at. So by the definition, 0 to infinity e power minus st into e power at dt. Okay, so if we use it further, we can add the powers because base is same here. So it will be e power t will be common, a minus s, 0 to infinity dt. Okay, so if we are going to integrate it, it will be, or we can take out minus sign as common, then it will be s minus a. We can utilize this result because e power minus t when goes into the denominator, it will give positive power, and 1 upon infinity will be utilized as a, means we'll be utilizing this result as a 0, because 1 upon infinity will give the very small value, or we can take it as a equivalent to 0 also. So it will be like if we are going to integrate it, it will be 1 over minus s minus a e power minus t s minus a 0 to infinity. So it will be minus 1 upon s minus a. So what will be the here, 1 upon e power t s minus a 0 to infinity. So it will be minus 1 upon s minus a. So it will be 1 upon infinity minus 1 upon 1. So we got that Laplace of e power at will be minus will be positive 1 upon s minus a. So hope this result is also clear to you that Laplace of any exponential function will be 1 upon s minus a, where a is the parameter apart from t. Like e power 2t, it will be 1 upon s minus 2. Like if we are finding the Laplace of e power 2t, so by the definition it will be 1 upon s minus 2. If we have the positive power, we will have negative a. If we have the negative power, then it will be in this formula, it will be s plus a. So let's move for the third function, that is trigonometric function sine and cos. We are going to derive for the sine, later on you can do yourself for the cosine. Okay, so like Laplace of sine at, Laplace of sine at. So if you are using the definition, it will be 0 to infinity e power minus st sin at dt. If you have studied the integration of this, you must know the direct result, or you can convert this into exponential form like sin 80. It can be written as e power a t I minus e power minus a t I upon 2i. So we are going to use this result in this format so that we can get the solution, because just now I told you the exponential of the Laplace of exponential. So on the basis of that we are going to get the result of sin 80. Later on you can use the same for the cosine. I let you know that cosine cos 80 can be written as e power 80i plus e power minus 80i upon 2. So using that result you can find the Laplace of cosine. So now let's find the Laplace of sin 80. So it will be like 0 to infinity e power minus st e power ait minus e power minus का ait upon 2i and dt. Hope it is clear now. We can take it out 1 upon 2i as common here, and so it will be, if you multiply it here, it will be e power minus t common, it will be s minus ai. It will be s minus ai, and similarly it will be negative of e power, we are taking minus s common, minus t common, it will be s plus ai. So as of now I think this is clear that we are going to integrate it over 0 to infinity dt. So hope it is visible to you, and it is easy to, I hope this is visible to you. So further if you are integrating it, what we will get, 1 over 2i will get, it will be minus 1 upon s minus ai, and it will be e power minus t s minus ai 0 to infinity, and it will be minus will be plus here, and 1 upon s plus ai, it will be e power minus t s plus ai 0 to infinity. So hope this integration is also clear to you. Let's move to the next step. So if we further solve it, we will get 1 over 2i as common here. It will be treated as common. So in the previous result I told you that it will be 1. It will be 1 because e power minus x 0 to infinity, it will give 1. It will give 1. You should remember this. Okay? So it will be 1. So it will be minus 1 upon s minus ai and plus 1 upon s plus ai plus it will be minus, because it will give minus. It will give minus because that is 1 upon infinity minus 1 upon 1. So it will give the minus result here, and it will give positive result here. So 1 upon 2i, it will be s square minus a square I square, and it will be like s plus ai minus ka s plus ai. So if we are solving it further, we will get 2ai upon 2i, and it will be s square. We know that I square will be minus 1, so s square plus a square, so a upon s square plus a square, or we can say that Laplace of sin at will be a upon s square plus a square. Similarly, you can solve it for cosine. It will be s upon s square plus a square. So as of now, I think the things are clear to you, that we are using the definition again and again to get some results, and these results can be utilized as a formula to solve the questions. One more function is there, t power n. We are going to find the Laplace of t power n also. Laplace of t power n. Okay, so it will be 0 to infinity e power minus st t power n dt. Okay, so we have to substitute to get the result. Like we can take st equals to p. We can take st equals to p dp over s. I think this is correct. dp over s. So it will be 0 to infinity e power minus p, and it will be t will be here. T will be equals to p over s. So it will be p upon s power n dt. Okay, it will be dp upon s. So it will be, can be further solved as e power s power n plus 1, because s power n plus 1 power here, it will be e power s power n plus 1, and 0 to infinity e power minus p power n dp. And friends, you must remember this is a definition of gamma function or Euler second integral. This is gamma function. So the result of this will be directly, you can remember that it will be n plus 1 upon s power n plus 1. It will be n plus 1 upon s power n plus 1. Okay. So hopefully now it is clear that n should be here, n should be greater than minus 1, and this is the first result. And you should also remember that if n is positive integer, then gamma function n plus 1 will be equals to n factorial. So we can say that Laplace of t power n will be equals to n factorial upon n plus 1, or n plus 1 upon s power n. Both are correct, but both have their utility. Like if we are having n as a fraction values like 1 upon 2, so we have to use this. And if we are having any positive number, because we know that factorial exists only for the positive numbers. Okay, so both are correct, and you must remember that the Laplace of, you must remember that the gamma function half, it will be equals to root pi. And minus of half will be equals to minus 2 root pi. So you should remember that these two values, so that when we'll solve question, you should not confuse how the things come like this way. So we'll use half of gamma will be equals to root pi, and half of minus gamma will be equals to minus 2 under root pi. So I think in this video lecture we have covered the basic definition, and we have used some trigonometric function, we have used we can say algebraic function, we have used exponential function to get the results, to get the Laplace transformation. So friends, if you have any doubt, you can comment me. If you have liked the video, please hit the like button and do subscribe my channel, and also share the video among your friends. So see you in the next video with some questions based on the Laplace transformation.